ones here to dance at the beginning. So you know it's only right, that's how we end it. Came all the way from losing to winning. Yeah, I did it, but it ain't just me, it's the whole team. Share it with the whole team. Congratulate the whole team. Cause when you riding like we riding with each other, ain't no I in this, it's the whole team. Share it with the whole team. Congratulate the whole team. Cause when you riding like we riding with each other, ain't no I in this. Tell them line it up. Like a 4th and 1, we sneaky when we slide up. Y'all on offense with no defense, now y'all time is up. We make the hits, y'all take the hits, and now we fired up. 3, 2, 1, don't need no break. Hut 1, hut 2, give it straight, that's how I like it. And we grind it every night to make it hit, now it's exciting. See, they just getting cake, they ain't never gonna get no ice. And all we want is chips, ring fingers looking ice. My day ones here to dance at the beginning. So you know it's only right, that's how we end it. Came all the way from losing to winning. Yeah, I did it, but it ain't just me, it's the whole team. Share it with the whole team. Congratulate the whole team. Cause when you riding like we riding with each other, ain't no I in this, it's the whole team. Share it with the whole team. Congratulate the whole team. Cause when you riding like we riding with each other, ain't no I in this. See, we came up from the bottom, me and squad got it. And we made it through them problems, now it's God body. We eat, sleep, breathe this, wave till they see sick. Do it right the first time, they all try to remix. Yeah, they grinded, but we grinded different. Tell them they time is ticking, but we time a fish. Bet not leave a minute, stop it. Something like the goat off in their pocket. Whole squizzy riding with me, who gon' stop it? My day ones here to dance at the beginning. So you know it's only right, that's how we end it. Came all the way from losing to winning. Yeah, I did it, but it ain't just me, it's the whole team. Share it with the whole team. Congratulate the whole team. Cause when you riding like we riding with each other, ain't no I in this, it's the whole team. Share it with the whole team. Congratulate the whole team. Cause when you riding like we riding with each other, ain't no I in this.
Just a gorgeous fall afternoon in the heart of Texas. No weather to speak of. Sun out, roof open. Yes, yes, and yes. A great day for football at AT&T Stadium in Arlington. Today, it's week 12 of the NFL season, and we've got a good one in store between the Cleveland Browns and the Dallas Cowboys. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Looking to throw right away is Watson. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. Well, this defense for the Cowboys, they were very good last week in the win over New Orleans.
Yeah, they gave up 17 points, but that's what you would consider a goal for each and every defense, because if you give up 17 points a game all year long, you're thinking you're going to be a playoff team because you expect your offense to score more than that. That's what you're looking for. Room to improve, of course, but I'd have to say a very solid performance.
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Darnell Savage. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Cowboy defense has a touchdown. So a big defensive play there on the opening drive, no less, as they make the interception and bring it back for the score.
And I think that's a signal for how this defense wants to play. They want to be disruptive, and you know they're going to take some chances.
Well, sometimes it can burn you, but right there, it paid off. Extra point up and through, and it's now a 7-0 game. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. The Browns drive about to get started. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick six, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go around.
And sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick six and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
But when you go on the road, you're hoping to make plays that will take the crowd out of the game. I think that's a pretty good example right there.
Yeah, a break like that never hurts, especially in the first quarter. Maybe help to set the tone a little bit.
Could settle him down, get him into the game a little bit easier without that crowd really being against him.
Looking for and finding Amari Cooper again. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched him more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Throwing again is Watson. And his throw here is incomplete.
That play call wasn't there for them against that coverage. So they're going to spin the dial now in their playbook and come up with one more shot at the marker to try and keep this series going.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Now it's Watson. That ball nearly intercepted, but he could not hang on. A pick there certainly would have been nice. Instead, at least it'll be 4th down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Kelvin Joseph. And the Cowboys are going to take over at their own 30-yard line. Well, your first drive of the first quarter, you get it down there, trying to fire it in the end zone, and big-time deflation on that play.
No doubt about it. They're moving and grooving and getting into position, and this is not the ending that they saw on this drive, is it? They had things going their way.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before that he always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Right back to him on first down. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. The Cowboys at 5 and 6 to start play. Now, they were winners their last time out, so they'll be looking to make it 2 in a row.
And so much about football, partner, comes down to mindset. Being in the right frame of mind, and the best way to get in that good frame of mind, winning. So they come in feeling good. They've got the home crowd behind them. I think they're going to be tough to beat in this one.
And he is going to lose yardage here. A loss of 1, now a loss of 2, and they're staring at a 3rd and 13.
When coaches stress their defense being physical, they don't just mean the big guys. How about the guys on the outside, the cornerbacks? It's not just their job to patrol the airspace. They can get involved in the run game as well.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And the Browns' pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. That'll be a 44-yard boot, just a yard on the return as he's covered up quickly. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. The Browns drive about to get started.
As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They run it again with Chubb. Bulldozes past him and brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and putting the defense back on its heels.
They find some open field here. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
58 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line. Now a play fake, and it's Watson. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. They'll go left side on the ground with Chubb. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
And he picks up the 1st down yardage as he takes it down to the 16.
I like this focus there because he wasn't thinking about breaking that one big. All he thought about was, I need one. Let's go get that. Ended up picking up 2.
Watson off play action. Flushed out right. And that will be incomplete. They couldn't hook up on what's going to be the final play of this 1st quarter. After 7-0 on EA Sports. Here's 2nd and 10. Now Chubb running right. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
Well, they've had success on the ground on this drive, and that makes the defense more likely to overcommit to stop the run as they did on that play. But keep in mind, it makes them susceptible to play-action passes as well.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. Njoku pulls this one in. He's got it for a Cleveland touchdown. A great play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Browns are within an extra point of tying up this ball game. Extra point by York is up and good. And we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Taken in at the 3. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. The defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. Puts it on the carpet, it's out. And this is picked up by the Browns. And some room to roam now. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return for a Browns TD.
And Charles, look at the big fella. What a rumble that was. Not only to scoop it, but then take it the rest of the way for the touchdown.
And now you know they're going to have to hear about it from now on. The defensive backs, he's going to want to run with them, do their drills, the whole deal. He thinks he's the pace setter now.
It doesn't matter what happens in practice this week. He's smiling. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And let's just say they're going to be looking to start over on this drive. A few moments ago, they were in the exact situation, but their first play led to a fumble that was returned for 6.
Yeah, you definitely have to have a short memory to play in the NFL. You got to remember what you did wrong so you don't repeat it, but you can't dwell on it because then you will repeat it, and that's what you don't want to do.
Off the play fake, Prescott. He finds his man, complete. That's Owens.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Third and short yardage, Prescott. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half. On 4th down, Matt Araiza sent on to punt. This first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Fielded just inside the 30. Call that a 46-yard punt with a net of 40 on the 6-yard return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Browns drive about to get started. They're starting to pull away with this one. Early on that first quarter, they didn't look so great offensively. What has changed?
Sometimes it's just a matter of doing what you plan.
He's got a man, complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big pickup of 38.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Off of play action, it's Watson. Drops it off for Chubb. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. So he'll be stopped here for no gain. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained. So they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. They go with Chubb on 2nd down. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Now Watson. Quick throw, and he's got Amari Cooper. And he is going to have a Browns 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. So he turned to a trusted, familiar face in that 3rd down situation. It paid off.
Yeah, you go to your veteran receiver in that spot, so you can't underestimate him when he's on the field defensively. Make sure you know where he is because he understands how to get open in key situations.
Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now they return to the ground game. Chubb. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Third and long, it's Watson. Njoku pulls this one in. He's got it for a Cleveland touchdown. A great effort there with his second touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Browns have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Extra point by York is up and good. And it's now 21-7. York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. This will be returned from deep in the end zone. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line, so bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision, loses him about 4 yards. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 51 yards rushing for him now to this point. Prescott off play action. They're looking for Lamb, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Martin Emerson. And the Browns are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. They start near midfield following the interception as they begin 1st and 10. After the interception, here's Watson. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. A big play that time for Cleveland. 46 yards. Charles, you talk so much about quick change plays. There's one right there. You get the turnover, and boom, hit him with a big one.
And defenses plan for this all the time. They work on it in practice. But in the middle of the game, when that quick change takes place, oftentimes guys aren't as focused as they need to be.
Here's Watson. Being chased out left. And he's just going to throw this one out of bounds here. Nowhere to go with it. Incomplete.
Well, sometimes an incompletion is the right play. And he showed that he's learned from his earlier interception on that throw. Instead of forcing it, he just tossed it away.
Nothing on first down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line. 2nd and goal. To throw is Watson. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
This defense could use some more of these types of plays. How about him reading it, driving on the football, and he's right there for the pass breakup.
This is 3rd and goal now. 80,000 on their feet here in Arlington. Here's Watson. Touchdown, Browns. Deshaun Watson with his 3rd touchdown pass of this first half. And the Browns have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. Extra point by York is up and good. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. Still early in this one, Charles, but the last time this offense was out there, they threw their first interception of the ball game, so try to avoid repeating that mistake here on this drive.
And to put a positive negative spin on it. At least it happened in the first half and not in a close game in the fourth quarter, but you're absolutely right, partner. One of the last things this offensive quarterback wants to witness again in this game.
Kind of an obvious question, Charles, but anything you try to avoid after your first pick, or you say it's one interception, we're still in the first half, I'm going to do the same thing?
I think you want to avoid playing scared, and put it into the mind of the quarterback that you've lost confidence in him. Make sure you get some throws that he's going to be able to complete, make him feel good about himself, and continue to run your offense.
Third and long for Prescott.
And that is incomplete. But the pressure there on third down, forcing the errant pass. Fourth down coming up. Here's Matt Araiza now.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Call it 46 yards on the punt, just a single yard on the return as he was covered quickly.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
The Browns drive about to get started.
And with good starting field position and 3 timeouts as well in their pocket, no reason not to try and put a late scoring drive together.
Faking the give. Now Watson. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Another try after the first down sack. Watson sliding out of the pocket.
And now Watson throws another interception. Picked off by Trayvon Diggs. And the Cowboys will take over possession here up at the 44. Well, Charles, so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
That is caught by Lamb.
The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
This is intercepted.
Picked off by Greg Newsome. And the Browns are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
He sets to fire deep. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3 alongside Charles Davis, Tom Brannick gone. It's the Cowboys who get the football first, and they trail here as well as we resume action in the 3rd quarter. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball to the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a gain of 12, and the Cowboys pick up the first. That one definitely helps as they try to push the ball down the field here, trailing early in the third quarter.
And even though they're trailing, not abandoning the running game. People may call it an adjustment. I think it's just much more sticking to what works for you and continuing to have faith in it. And the running game is starting to pay off.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Boy, and now they can't even get a play off.
Well, you got to think, Charles, that one's on the quarterback because everybody was up at the line of scrimmage. He just didn't call for the snap in time.
Yeah, I think he needs a little bit better awareness out there because you got to know when the clock's in single digits and either snap it or get a timeout called if you have one.
Prescott now. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Prescott going up top. Ball had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Browns drive about to get started. A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
On 2nd and 7, Watson. He's got Njoku, his big tight end. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. Watson to Njoku there for the Cleveland first. Watson. He's going to go for a big play downfield. He's got a man complete. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line. What a game it's been for this duo.
They remind me of a good comedy team. They know how to play off of each other so well. No matter how one riffs, the other's right there to pick them up, and they are shredding them in this ballgame.
Steps away.
Throw left side. There's Schwartz with it. And they're going to get this down inside the 15.
Everyone has their strengths, able to move to their right or their left, being able to throw the football. So that means you've got to work on both because you never know which way you're going to get flushed by pressure. In this situation, able to escape to his left and makes an accurate throw.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. Deshaun Watson, 4 touchdown passes now in the ballgame as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. Extra point by York is up and good. And that'll increase their lead to 28.
York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive.
Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here and maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
But we saw that he had a lot of success last week throwing the football, but that hasn't translated to this week. But with his team behind, I don't expect him to back off. I expect him to keep firing.
And the Browns' pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down.
Multiple defenders getting home there for a loss of 11.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Returnable here from the 38. So possession goes over here on the punt. The Browns drive about to get started.
A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And, partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due, because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. And Chubb will try the middle here. And he's got some space here.
And a strong run that time as he's across midfield and down to the 43. 85 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
He's turning in a pretty impressive performance running the football, and a big reason why they have this nice lead.
And in days gone by, we would clip this out and put it up on the refrigerator, wouldn't we? Clip out the box score. Nowadays, not too many newspapers out there. Maybe you screenshot it online.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here, because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Now a 2nd down and 6.
And again, it's Chubb. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and no more. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game, because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. It's another touchdown pass for Deshaun Watson, his 5th of the afternoon.
And the Browns have taken a 5-touchdown lead. Extra point by York is up and good.
And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter.
York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time.
And Prescott, his 3rd interception. And the Browns are going to take possession of the football.
They had him back deep, got the interception, and now they start inside the 10.
Partner, forget starting inside the red zone. They're inside the green zone. From the 10-yard line in, a lot of teams call it that because that's the money zone. Get it into the end zone and make your cash.
That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
No daylight for him to run through there, and he ran into the defensive tackle, and that guy blocks a whole lot of daylight as it is. He is truly a big man who just made a big play.
They'll run with Hunt on second down. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Only a couple yards there, and that's going to set up a long 3rd and goal.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness. Think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well.
Touchdown! Anthony Schwartz from 10 yards out. York now for the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he powers his way up past the 30. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a 1st.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. They're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah getting him once again his 3rd sack of the afternoon. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. It's a 46-yard punt, 2 on the return. The Browns drive about to get started. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I enjoy. We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones. And it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it #1 for what we've seen this season. Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
121 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a 1st down again. It carries like that. That's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. Up the middle, it's Chubb. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Nick Chubb with his 6th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Browns look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. Extra point by York is up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
A 3rd down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he'll come on to kick this one away. That hurts. If it was running into the kicker, wouldn't be a first down. Roughing, it is a first.
And just think about the differences between the two. Running into the kicker almost feels inadvertent, just a small tap, so to speak. But when you rough him, usually bodies are hitting the ground and flying all different places. And the difference is 5 yards or 15. And in this case, that's a big play.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
2nd and 10. Now they try the right side here. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he's on to kick it away. "46 yards on the boot. The coverage holds him to just 3 on the return. The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here.
The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here. Well, fans usually love to see scoring, and there was no shortage of it today.